Sweet the whispers in your ear whenever Ember wanders near.
All right, so I think what we're gonna do is I've been holding on to this one for a couple days, so I think it's time we check it out. No, we're not doing AC's video. We are going to do Nick's video. We're gonna do Nick's video about Redbox. Yes, we're gonna do this one. I'm familiar with Redbox. I'm just kind of curious what the video about Redbox is about. So I am curious. I'm intrigued. So shift a little bit. All right, let's go.
I've been putting off making this video for over a year in hopes that I could acquire a Redbox of my own, but apparently that's not going to happen because my local Walgreens didn't feel comfortable letting me just take a Redbox, so I guess we'll just do it.
No. We'll do it live!
Today we're talking about Redbox, all right? We all know what Redbox was. Like 10 years ago, they had those red vending machines outside of every grocery store, every Walmart in America where you...
10 years ago? It was more than that. Wasn't Redbox a thing like 15 or 20 years ago? Not even just 10, like 15 or 20. It's been a while since Redbox was a thing.
Give it $1 and it would give you a new movie, and then you brought it back 24 hours later and that was it. It was basically one of the two horsemen for Blockbuster. It was this and streaming that killed movie rental places. And then one day I blinked and they were just gone, which I didn't really care because I didn't own a DVD player anymore at this point, probably much like everybody else.
Did they still exist 10 years ago?
DVDs were on their way out. Nobody's really buying DVDs anymore because everybody's streaming on Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and all the other streaming services, so they just went out of business.
Well, okay, to this point, Netflix was already in operation as well. Netflix was doing this too. The difference was Netflix did it by mail, so you didn't get an immediate return. Like you would do the subscription to Netflix, they would mail you the DVD. It would take a couple days to get you. You'd watch the DVD, you'd put it back into the Netflix envelope, send it back, and then they would send you another DVD. Redbox, so it was already like Netflix was already doing this just via mail, not by box. Redbox was basically taking the concept of Netflix and putting it locally. So you didn't have to wait several days for the mail for it to deliver it to you. You could go to the Redbox like outside of your grocery store, Walmart or wherever, and then and do this, and it was an immediate return. So you would boot in, you'd get the DVD, take it home, watch it, bring it back, and it was just a faster, more local option versus what Netflix was doing.
Business is what I thought. And I was partially correct. I mean, it's a little bit more unhinged than that, but yes, Redbox, the company, did go out of business predominantly because of streaming. But the Redboxes themselves, like the actual physical vending machines, did not disappear because the company went out of business. They disappeared more than likely because people stole them. I mean, legally speaking, it wasn't stealing, but they definitely rolled up to a Redbox that wasn't theirs, said finders keepers, threw it on a trailer and took it. Okay, and I know what you're thinking. I can read your mind right now. You're thinking, I know where a Redbox is in my town to this day. Are you telling me that if I roll up to that Redbox, I can just Christopher Columbus that shit? I can plant a flag in that Redbox and declare it's mine forever and all eternity? If you do it the right way, yeah.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
And we're going to get to it right after word from our sponsor.
Delete me.
No. Bring me the Latina.
Delete me.
No. This video is brought to you by Delete Me, okay? Super simple business model. You give them money, they turn around and they make sure the data brokers on the internet aren't selling your personal information. Okay, pretty much anytime anything is free on the internet, but you have to make an account and give them your name and address and email address and all that stuff, they're basically just taking all that information, selling it to data brokers, and that's how they're able to offer that service for free. But when you have Delete Me, they monitor all the major data brokers. Whenever they start selling your personal information, they automatically submit the opt-out request for you and have that information taken down, and they give you quarterly reports to let you know how many different listings they've taken down. But then Delete Me still has my information. Yeah, obviously, they kind of have to have the information so they know what information to have taken down. That's just how that works. I mean, your options are really A, you have a bunch of people selling your information to anybody that's got cash, or B, there's one person that has your information and their entire job is to make sure nobody else has it and you're paying them directly. Yeah, I'm taking B, all right, which raises the next question, is Delete Me gonna be able to keep my personal information safe? So I asked them, they said their security certification is a ISO 27001. I had no idea what that meant, so I Googled it. Apparently, they have like the highest level of security certification that you can get. So yeah, I've been using Delete Me for years. I was using them before they were paying me to talk about them. I'll probably be using them after they quit paying me to talk about them. If you want to give it a try, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, settle down, class. Welcome to how to strategically transfer a red box into your garage legally.
Allegedly.
Okay, I don't know why I did air quotes. It is legal. I just don't know if it's ethical, but who really cares?
We interrupt this program to bring you.
Whoa. Look, ladies and gentlemen, look,
Jake.
I have to interject. Here's the deal. Nothing, and I do mean nothing, about what is being said in this video is or should be taken as legal advice, okay? You gotta check this out for yourself. Don't just be rolling up to gas stations and strip malls and loading up red box machines and driving off with them. That is not a good idea.
Gotcha. It's better if nobody trade. You don't know anything. What are you talking about? I'll take care of it.
And then either way, my client is not liable for anything you do, okay? Don't you make me come back here, because I will.
Anyways, my name
Bye, Jake. Say hi to Sam and Nico for us.
is Nick, the Fat Electrician. I'll be your instructor today, and the first thing you're going to learn in my class is the most important part of any successful heist is the background work. Okay, you got to plan things out. You got to know everything. If you want to acquire a red box, you have to know everything about that red box. You have to know where it came from so that you can know where it's going, which ideally is going to be in your garage so you can get drunk with all your buddies and show it off.
Behold, my stuff.
That being said, our story begins in the 1980s with this man, a guy by the name of Rich Lowe, and he is the president of a company called
Hang on. Did the editor correct that?
in the 1980s with this man, a guy by the name of Rich Lowe.
He put in the little asterisk. Rich Low. Yeah, he's got AC on the brain.
And
Yeah.
he is the president of a company called Video Droid. It's basically the same exact concept as Redbox. It was a movie rental machine, but instead of DVDs, it had VHS tapes because that's what they had in the 1980s and the 1990s. But the world just wasn't ready for this yet, probably because credit cards and debit cards weren't readily accessible to pretty much everybody like they are in modern times. So whenever somebody would, put money in the machine, there was no way of charging their credit card if they just kept the movie. So the business model probably didn't work. So that never really takes off. Okay, fast forward, by 1998, he's working for a different movie rental company where this company would actually just mail you DVDs and then you would mail them back and you just paid them a monthly subscription. And this company was called Netflix. Yes, kids, back in the day, Netflix used to actually mail you DVDs. It wasn't always a streaming service. I'm old, I know. Fast forward to 2003, Mitch takes a job working as the VP of operations for a company called McDonald's. And in 2002, a year prior to him getting there, McDonald's launched this crazy new pilot program called TikTok Easy Shops, which is spelled the exact same way as the app is today, which is weird, but whatever. Anyways, TikTok Easy Shops was basically a giant vending machine that they were going to have either in or outside the McDonald's that had a bunch of groceries inside of it. Like all the groceries that you would have on like a small errands list, like bread, eggs, milk, diapers, laundry detergent, dish soap, just all the random odds and ends that you would have to go to the grocery store for. They were going to have it in the vending machine at McDonald's for you. With obviously the idea being, okay, we're competing with Burger King and Wendy's. How do we set ourselves apart? We all sell hamburgers. We all sell chicken nuggets. Like, how are we going to differentiate ourselves? Oh, I know. We'll be the only fast food place that also sells groceries. That way, when some mom is like, I got to go pick up dinner for the kids and I also need to stop by the grocery store to get milk, eggs, and bread. Oh my God, there's only one fast food place with a McPlay place where I can also conveniently pick up milk, eggs, and bread. I guess we're going to McDonald's, and they get that business by default. Okay.
On paper, it's not a bad idea. Legit, like you put non-perishables in there. Most people are like most housewives or just people in general that when they go to McDonald's, it's usually on the way back from getting groceries of some sort. And not all groceries are going to be perishable. So this actually sounds like it could fucking work on paper. It kind of makes sense. It's Walmart with the McDonald's inside, but reversed. Yeah, kind of, sort of, like on a much more tiny scale. Yeah. It's not a terrible idea, honestly.
Okay, at a glance, genius idea if you don't think about it. It's kind of like communism. It's a really good idea on paper if you're willing to ignore all of human psychology. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, nobody on the development team for this project put themselves in the shoes of the customer because, first off, who the fuck is buying milk and eggs out of a vending machine? That just sounds...
There's the rub. That's why I said non-perishables. It would have to be products that don't require cold storage like milk or eggs and stuff. It could only basically be dry goods staples and cleaning products and stuff like that. Like that, if you didn't put in like the refrigerated items, it could work. And yes, there are people that are going to get like eggs and milk and cold goods from, from a vending machine. It's not enough to sustain a business. They probably end up having a hell of a lot more waste than sales. But like if they just went strict dry goods and cleaning products and stuff, it could work.
Sketchy. That's right up there with like gas station sushi. Nobody's taken that dice roll willingly. But that's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that it breaks McDonald's entire business model. McDonald's business model is to unironically and literally have a clown look you in the eye and be like, bro, I know you're fat and lazy. You know you're fat and lazy. You don't want to make food at home. You got to go to the grocery store. You got to pick up groceries. Then you got to come back home. You got to cook it. You're spending money to run your oven. Then after you eat, then you got to do dishes. Then you got to put the dishes away. That's a lot of work. Why don't you just come pick up the food from me, eat the food, throw away the paper bag, and then everything's done. Okay, that's it. That's the whole business model. Be outrageously convenient in a moment of weakness. And you want to know what nobody wants to see in their moment of weakness while they're committing the act of going to McDonald's? A fucking grocery store to be reminded what a lazy piece of shit they are. Okay, you roll up to McDonald's, you've already made the decision that you're gonna be fat and lazy today. You're thinking about Big Macs and those delicious French fries, and then you have to walk past the milk and bread aisle of a grocery store to place your order, and you're like, maybe I should have just went to the grocery store and made food at home.
Wait. How many Walmarts that have groceries in them? The vast majority of Walmarts have groceries in them. A very strong amount of these Walmarts also had McDonald's located in them as well. So, I mean, that logic kind of tanks itself. Like everything Nick just said, why am I going to get groceries when I've got McDonald's or vice versa? Like, why am I going to go to McDonald's when I'm getting groceries at the same time? It gets done in big fucking numbers to this day. Because what happens is, again, a lot of people, they will do the grocery shopping. Like in the case of Walmart, they'll go and they'll go to Walmart and they'll do their grocery shopping because let's face it, Walmart groceries is a hell of a lot cheaper than the actual grocery store. So they'll do their grocery shopping in the Walmart, and then on the way out of the Walmart, there's the McDonald's there's McDonald's in-store restaurant. So they'll buy their groceries, go in, grab their McDonald's to go, take it all home, and while they're putting the groceries away, the kids can eat their McDonald's. And for that day, mom doesn't actually have to cook them dinner because she picked up McDonald's instead. So it's like, what the Nick's explanation, like I get what he's saying, but on its face, it falls a bit flat because there's McDonald's in a grocery store already, which proves the point that people will go to McDonald's even when they're in the grocery store or when the grocery store is literally like present there. So, wait, what? Wait, what did you say? I haven't seen McDonald's, what? Hang on, I missed it. What did you say? That haven't seen McDonald's and Walmart since the early 2000s? Maybe in the States. I don't know. Maybe they've moved them out in the States. They're absolutely in Canada. Okay? I have been to numerous Walmarts in Canada with the McDonald's in it. So maybe it's something in the States where McDonald's has moved out of Walmart. That is not the case in Canada. So I've seen like probably about over half the Walmarts that I go to has a McDonald's built into it.
Home like a responsible adult.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
You're literally saying the quiet part out loud to everybody's face. What a horrible business model. This would be like if a strip club put a sign on the front door that was like a picture of a happy family at Christmas time, a mom, a dad, and the kids all getting ready to open presents that read, "Remember you have a wife and kids at home." Okay, would that be a good thing? I mean, for society, probably, yeah, but I mean, for business, no. So obviously this flopped right out of the gate, and now McDonald's has a bunch of vending machines and they don't know what to put inside of them and they're about to lose a bunch of money, but Mitch steps in with an idea. Let's put DVDs in them bitches. And this is actually a brilliant idea because we've now just gone from basically shaming parents for being bad parents and not cooking food for their kids at home because they don't love them as much to, hey, if you come to McDonald's, you can also pick your kids up that new Disney movie for $1 and then bring it back tomorrow. No harm, no foul. You get dinner, take the kids home, have a movie, do bedtime, whole great family day. On top of that, this ensures they have to come back to a McDonald's because they have to return the movie. And when you go to return the movie, who knows? Maybe they'll buy some more McDonald's. Maybe they'll rent another movie. Maybe this is how we trap people into the eating McDonald's and watching movies every night cycle that they never escape from. It's
I'm gonna make a call here. Part of the problem with this model is that you have to bring the DVD back the next day. And you have to look at human nature. People are lazy. They're not going to want to rent a DVD, take it home, watch it, and bring it back the next day. Because even Blockbuster and Netflix, like Netflix is return it whenever you want. Blockbuster, the rental was what, like a week? I think like a week, 5 days for a rental from Blockbuster. With Redbox, the problem is like you literally have to bring it back the next day, and people are lazy. They're not going to want to do that. They're not going to want to like, okay, I'm in McDonald's, however far that was from my home, and rent the DVD, take it home, but then I have to get in the car and drive back here the next day to return it. And like the whole concept that Nick's talking about, like, okay, well, you know, bring it back the next day. Maybe they'll want to get more McDonald's, some more food, and maybe they'll get another DVD. Yeah, again, it sounds good on paper, but when you look at when you look at human behavior, it's not going to work because people are lazy. They're not going to, they're, you know, if they rent a DVD, they, you know, bearing in mind, the DVD rental mindset right now is either with Netflix, where it's a mail-in service, it's like whenever you feel like it, throw it back in the mail, or with Blockbuster, I don't have to go back for a week. And they're going to be in that mindset. Convenience aside, there's still that thought process in their head of, well, when I rent from Blockbuster, I get it for a week, so I don't have to go back the very next day, and I can like wait a few days before I go back or even watch it again. Whereas with the Redbox, they're gonna be like, I gotta bring back the very next day, or I get charged money. Don't know if I like that.
It's absolutely genius. Obviously, this idea takes off right out of the gate, outrageous success, and McDonald's is like, okay, we're sitting on top of a gold mine. We know how to sell cheeseburgers. We don't really know what we're doing in the movie rental industry. We need to partner with somebody that does. So to do that, they approach both Blockbuster and Netflix and offer to sell part of the company or the company as a whole to either of these companies because they'll be able to blow it up and take it to the next level.
No.
Okie dokie.
No.
Gotcha, thanks.
Both of them decline. Now, Netflix, justifiable. They really didn't need it. No need to waste time on that. They're moving towards streaming anyways. Blockbuster, on the other hand, it's like internet fame, it's internet lore that Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix, and then Netflix ended up putting them out of business. Apparently, they also had the opportunity to buy Redbox and turn that down as well. Just generational.
Didn't Blockbuster try to do their own version? Like, wasn't it not long after Redbox like tried to make a deal with Blockbuster and turned them down? They like basically started putting up their own versions of it, and I'm wondering if that's why they turned down Redbox, because like they didn't want to like sell the ownership of the company, but they're like, okay, that could work. We'll just do it our own. Yeah, and they ended up getting greedy and they couldn't do it well. Granted, Redbox failed too, so the entire business model was not a viable one in the first place.
Fumble after generational fumble. So now McDonald's is like, okay, the movie rental industry isn't interested. It's a vending machine. Maybe we can go to the vending machine industry and partner with somebody over there, and that's exactly what they do. In 2005, they sell 47% of the company for $32 million to Coinstar. Coinstar, you know, like the Tweaker Bank of America, the change machine at the grocery store that all the tweakers dump all the coins into that they just stole out of every unlocked car in the parking lot, and then they get the little ticket and take it up to the counter and they get cash instead. That thing. It's like the perfect business partner with. I mean, think about it. They're already in retail locations all over the country, and their upsell is way harder. If you can convince somebody to give up 10% of their money in exchange for turning their metal money into paper money, renting out $1 DVDs is an easy sell. So easy, in fact, that it only takes them 2 years to dethrone Blockbuster as the #1 movie rental service in America with over 6,000 locations across the country by 2007. There's red boxes popping up all over the country. They're making a ton of money. Because of this, Coinstar exercises an option in their contract to buy 51% of the equity, becoming the majority shareholder in 2008. And by 2009, they pay another $176 million to buy out the rest of the equity, and they own the entire company. Okay, just so we're on the same page, this genius over here, Mitch Lowe, came to McDonald's when they were trying to sell milk and eggs out of a vending machine and failing horrifically, and spun it around into a over $200 million profit for McDonald's. I hope that clown gave that guy a bonus.
Believe it or not, jail.
Now, by this point, Redbox.
Wait, what?
McDonald's.
Hold up.
I hope that clown gave that guy a bonus.
Believe
Remember MoviePass CEO Mitch Lowe's pleaded guilty to securities fraud. Oh, shit! Oh, damn! Bill, that escalated quickly.
it or not, jail.
Now, by this point, Redbox is spreading like wildfire. They're already the #1 rental service in America, and Blockbusters are closing left and right, giving them even more business. They're just getting absolutely crushed by Redbox and Netflix. And it's because Netflix is, well, Netflix, and Redbox is just a better business model. They provide the exact same service, except they don't have the overhead of a building that you have to walk into, keep climate controlled. There's no employee that you have to pay. It's one machine that sits there 24 hours a day. It works for whatever the cost of electricity is, and they pass that savings onto the customer, only charging them $1 instead of like $5, $7, $8 that you get charged at Blockbuster. Blockbuster files for bankruptcy the next year in 2010, and by this point, there's so many red boxes all over the country that 68% of the US population lives within 5 minutes of at least one red box.
Okay, so that does kind of like basically kill my thought process about how people are not going to want to like buy a DVD, go home, watch it, and then slip back to the red box to return it the next day. If like they're fucking everywhere and there's literally one 5 minutes away from everybody. Okay, I get it now. I do get it. When you basically go in volume like that, sure, it makes sense.
Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Very quickly, Redbox scoops up that market share left over by Blockbuster, and they are making over $1 billion a year in revenue for like the next decade. Then they start renting out video games, they start making even more money, but then by 2018, streaming's really starting to become a thing, and they're starting to not make quite as much money. Redbox sees the writing on the wall, they start panicking, they're like, okay, shit, Netflix is gonna take over. What's Netflix doing? Okay, they're making their own movies. Okay, we gotta make our own movies. So they buy a film studio and start making their own Redbox exclusive movies. And it fails horrifically. In 2019, they had one of their big headlining movies come out. They did everything right. Allegedly, they got an...
Wait, that was a Redbox movie? I didn't know that. I had no idea this was a Redbox movie. Oh, shit. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, this one, I forget the title of it. Basically, it stars John Travolta, who basically, I can't remember if they were trying to make him be autistic or if they were basically doing some other, basically neurological issue. It felt like he was trying to be autistic, but it was very insulting in that rest. Yeah, it's like fanatic, I think is what it calls. So like he loves this one sports guy. And he wanted to like there's this one sports guy he absolutely loves, and he's like he's like, yo, I'm your biggest fan, and he ends up like basically going psychotic, like stalking him, and ends up like breaking into his home and like torturing him and all because he's his biggest fan. And it's like I'm very bare bonesing the plot here, but it's really it's like really fucked up. Yeah, it was like made by Fred Durst. Like Fred Durst directed it or wrote it or something. It was not a good movie. It did not paint people with autism in a very good light, and it was not a good movie. But I had no idea that this was a Redbox movie. I did not realize that.
They got an A-list celebrity. They got John Travolta to be the lead actor in this movie, Fanatic. And this thing goes out to theaters, and it grossed only $3.1 thousand. $3,153 this movie made at the box office with an A-list celebrity like John Travolta. I don't know how it's possible to fuck this up that bad.
Motherfuckers.
But hey, they got it done. So now they're really panicking. They're like, okay, making our own movies isn't working. What else is Netflix doing? They're streaming. Okay, we got to start streaming. They start their own streaming service, Redbox Free TV. Okay, judging by the fact that I've never heard of that until literally right now, I'm going to go ahead and say that that flopped because I've been streaming since streaming was a thing. So at this point, Redbox is just a sinking ship. It's going down with the rest of the VHS and DVD industry. Nobody's buying this stuff anymore. It's just a matter of time at this point. But then something amazing happens, at least for Redbox. It's pretty horrific for the rest of the world, but for Redbox, it was great. COVID happens.
Ah.
You know, I got a little bit of a cold myself.
Yeah, one day everybody just woke up and the government came out of left field on the news and was like, hey, so over in China, like a bat made out with a pig or something and created some new flu. We've done a bunch of research.
Contagion referenced. That was literally the plot of Contagion. That somewhere a bat basically interacted with the wrong bat interacted with the wrong pig and basically created MEV1, which was the virus in the movie Contagion.
Supposedly, and apparently the flu can tell distance, and if you're within 5'11" of somebody, you're gonna get the flu, but if you're at 6 feet, the flu will just fucking stop. It's kind of like the 2-second rule when you drop food. The germs really respect the 2-second rule. Long story short, it's very dangerous. We're going to shut down the entire country. I need you to all go stay in your houses for the next 2 years. And if you do have to go outside, I need you to dress up like you got cast in the movie Despicable Me. Now, granted, it varies from state to state, but generally speaking, a ton of people are stuck at home and pretty much everything that is entertainment has been shut down. There's no amusement parks. The movie theaters are closed. There's nothing you can do other than sit at home. And what are you going to do when you sit at home? You want to watch new movies, right? And now the only place to rent a physical DVD is at a Redbox. So for the next couple of years, Redbox is raking in the cash and they're showing really impressive profit margins on the books. And by this point, they've been sold by Coinstar and bought by private equity groups. They've been tossed around a bunch of times. But the private equity firm that was panicking trying to start these movies, trying to start these streaming services, basically just got a lifeline where now they're showing that they're a highly profitable company and they could do one of two things. They could A, use all the profits to prop up this new streaming service they're trying to start and then become competitive with Netflix, or they could B, do what any private equity firm on the planet would do and hot potato that problem to somebody else, which is exactly what happens. In 2002, Redbox gets bought for $375 million by Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul Entertainment. You know, those books that you...
Oh my fucking God, this is just a glorious fucking comedy right now. My God. Okay, so Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul was a book that came out like... Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul was literally just a book for like drunk wine moms. I think it was like the mid-2000s? I think, I could be wrong about that. It was this whole book that was like, it was I never read it myself. I think it was like supposed to be some kind of like self-help or self-affirming kind of book that was like a book that turned into a book series for like drunk housewives to just say I'm existential and to basically show off to their friends like I read Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul, whatever. And I guess they parlayed that into a media company. Oh my God, of course, because of fucking course. How many Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul movies did they try to make out of this?
Saw in elementary and middle school, Chicken Noodle Soup for the Teenage Soul, Chicken Noodle Soup for that, Chicken Noodle Soup. I have no fucking idea what these books are even about to this day. To be honest with you, I completely forgot they existed until right now. Don't tell me what they're about. I don't care. Sorry, getting sidetracked. Anyways, COVID pretty much comes to an end around...
Was it 93? Okay, I was way off. I was way off then. It came out, I thought it was like mid-2000s. Yeah, okay, so it was like early 90s that they came out. Like, hang on. Hey, I'm gonna like go on Grok on my phone and I'm gonna get a description of what the chicken noodle soup for the soul books were. Hang on. See, describe chicken noodle soup for the soul. All right. Hang on. Hang on. It's a thinking. All right. For God's sake. No, God damn it. What are the chicken noodle soup for the soul books? All right, let's see if we can get a better answer than that. Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul books are a long-running series of inspirational anthologies featuring short, true, uplifting stories submitted by everyday people and sometimes celebrities. Each book typically contains around 101 stories focused on themes like hope, resilience, love, perseverance, grief, joy, and personal growth. And these were marketed to depressed wine moms that wanted to feel better about themselves. That's literally what these are for. They're just for they were for housewives that were dissatisfied with being housewives, and so they marketed these for the housewife for them to basically feel better about their own lives. That's it.
Don't tell me what they're about. I don't care. Sorry, getting sidetracked. Anyways, COVID pretty much comes to an end around the same time.
Yes,
people are allowed to go
motivational
outside
posters in
again.
book form.
People quit renting movies like wildfire. And then Redbox pretty much immediately just nosedives into the ground. By 2023, they're looking at bankruptcy. By 2024, they file bankruptcy. It goes through. Redbox as a company ceases to exist. And this brings us to why the Redboxes are free. Okay, the company goes bankrupt. They're no longer in business. They have two options. Option A, they go around the country to all 34,000 Redboxes scattered everywhere, and they can hire an electrician because they're hardwired in. So an electrician has to go in there, unwire the Redbox, disconnect it, make the outside where they had electrical running look all pretty, and then they can hire another crew to show up, pick up the Redboxes, take them to a warehouse, take all the DVDs out. Maybe they could sell the DVDs. What are the DVDs worth? Whatever somebody's willing to pay. Go to a pawn shop. They're like $1, maybe $5 each. Not a lot of money to be recouped there. What do you do with a Redbox machine? It's basically garbage now. So now you got to pay this crew to go take all the DVDs out, try to make money off of those, then take what's left of the Redbox out to the landfill or have it recycled or whatever. It's going to be extremely expensive to hire all these people to move 34,000 of these giant red refrigerators full of movies. So they go with option B. They just fucking leave them.
Explain this, you son of a bitch.
Poor little guy.
And for a period of time, the business kind of continued to operate even though it wasn't in business. Like, the machines don't know that. They're still plugged in. They still have power. And people don't know that Redbox went out of business. It's not like they put out a government service announcement. So people just continue going to Redbox that were going to a Redbox, and they'd walk up, pick their movie they wanted to rent, scan their credit card. The machine would read that the credit card went through. They would get their movie. They would leave. But because the accounts were closed, the payments never actually went through because the company doesn't exist. So these people just got the movies for free. And then some people started to figure this out, that, hey, the movies in Redboxes are free now, and you don't have to return them because nothing bad can happen, because technically nobody owns them, and this country was founded on finders keepers. I'm keeping that shit. And to this day, you can still get on eBay and find listings for like 90 Redbox DVDs, random assortment, $50, or like 160 for $100. It's fucking crazy. People were just going around to every Redbox they could find, taking all the DVDs out of it, keeping them for free, or selling them on eBay. But then as time went on, the Redboxes started having their power shut off because obviously Redbox had to pay, rent or some type of licensing fee to, Walgreens and CVS and Dollar General and Walmart and all the places that had a Redbox. That retail location was making some money back from Redbox, and Redbox obviously wasn't paying them rent anymore because Redbox doesn't exist, so they would cut the power off. So now these companies are stuck with this big, ugly, turned off red refrigerator full of movies in front of their store that isn't making them money, and they kind of want it gone. And some companies and private individuals figured this out, and in a lot of states, that qualifies as abandoned property after like 90 days, and as long as the retail location's owner or manager is okay with you showing up and taking it, You can just fucking take it and it's yours.
Now, the globalists don't want you to know this, but the red boxes are free. You could just take them. I'm Brandon Ferreira, and I approve this message.
So if you know where a red box is,
How much convincing do you think it took for Nick to convince Brandon to let him use that old clip? How much convincing right now do you think it took? Not much? No, think so? Oh, such a classic.
I mean, check your state's laws, do your own homework, make sure you don't get in trouble, but there's a good chance you could just walk into, I don't know, Walgreens and say something along the lines of like, hey, I don't know if you know this, your red box outside isn't working. And when they're like, yeah, it's been shut off for a long time, they actually went out of business. You could then be like, oh, that's crazy. I'm actually a licensed electrician. And in the state of Iowa, after 90 days, that qualifies as abandoned property. I would love to disconnect that for you and get it out of your way. And I'll take it to go have it recycled and have it taken care of responsibly. I mean, strictly, hypothetically, you could do something like that, provided, you know, you were a licensed electrician. I definitely wasn't lying earlier when I said I don't have a red box. There definitely is not a red box parked right next to the giant 1-to-1 scale replica of Little Boy in my garage right now. That's not a thing.
He got his red box. Nick, we demand you show us the red box. Okay, I have a better question. Is it functional? Did you hook it up to power and does it work? That's what I want to know. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Ben.
Nicholas,
Yes.
Uh-oh.
why is there a red box machine in our garage?
I'm going into a tunnel. I'm losing you.
You know I wanted a pickleball court.
It's okay. A couple nights on the couch is well worth a lifetime of garage red box.
Don't panic. Luckily, we have a businessman who did write the book, The Art of the Deal.
And he does know the art of the deal.
For real, though, I should probably go handle that more maturely. So, in conclusion, that is the history of Redbox and where they all went to. They're probably in people's garages right now and how you could maybe acquire one of your own if you're lucky. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch, maybe drink some Echelon. Links for both those over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack, bang, out. Well, that could have went better.
There's the answer to your question. There's the answer to your question.